Hello, Steve Earle from Harrington Earle Estate Agents. I'm on the corner of Wattle Tree Road and Lysterville Avenue in Malvern, about to take you on a walk down for COVID purposes to have a look through 8 Lysterville Avenue in Malvern that'll come up to auction in a couple of weeks' time. We've got a break in the weather, so we'll take a quick walk down the street. This is on the corner site, which has got a multi-storied development occurring, probably very similar to the one that you've got looking into the background there. And then as we traverse in a southerly direction along Lysterville, we'll see a bit of nature of how the street looks. Some of the housing that's here. Had a particular inquiry from someone in regards to what was likely to be happening at house number 5, which is on the opposite side of the street. And as such, we went to council, and there has been a permit granted for the development of 2 houses on that particular site that we're now looking at. And so we'll travel a little bit further along. Number 4 has dual townhouses on site. Number 6 is probably a good representation of perhaps what number 8 may have looked like when it was first built, and the neighbours have put some substantial resources into the restoration and capitalisation of that particular property. We now come up to number 8, and we'll walk just a little bit further on rather than going in. There's Chase the doggies enjoying COVID, coming out with us, and if anything has happened during the course of time other than resilience required with COVID, it's certainly the pets have enjoyed the fact. So the street then transgresses down. There's further works going on here at number 13, which is one of a pair, and some substantial repairs and maintenance there. Adjoining our property is a bluestone laneway with a group of townhouses. Each of these townhouses are on individual strata titles, and there's evidence on the Core Logic sites to demonstrate that a number of those have been sold individually over the time. If we walk down along the southern boundary of our particular property, which is some 163 feet in depth, it'll take us down to the Glendarg tennis courts, which is council owned. They've got a parking apron here at the rear side of our property. The tennis courts abut our very eastern boundary. Tennis courts in there, not in action today. I think they also too are shut down through the COVID activity of things. We'll take just a little bit of a further stroll down so that we can turn back around, have a look at the rear of our particular property there with this large gum, which to me looks like a lemon centre, but I'm appropriately told that it's not. It's a different style of gum tree, and we'll go up a little bit closer to it just so you can note that if the fence sits on the boundary in its true position, which I can't make an attestation to that being the case or not, the tree at that point you'll see actually comes through the fence line. So the boundary on that particular tree, which is a substantial gum tree of course. There's laneway access into our own property here, which is a roller door into a carport. We'll now go back up and have a look through the property. As I mentioned, this boundary is 163 feet deep. The one on the northern side is slightly different, 162 feet 10. Front and rear boundaries are 45 feet. So it's not quite the true rectangular, but only 2 inches off. There are no encumbrances or caveats on the title and no easements. A copy of the documentation is available if you reach out to us by sending an email to steve@harringtonearle.com.au, together with any of those plans that have been made available to me from the Stonington Council. So we've got an unencumbered title of some 680 feet or square metres I should say, 680 square metres. As we come in here, it's quite picturesque, but as we come up closer, you'll actually see that much of the property has been substantially altered. What was likely to be very much similar to the adjoining home, a stucco and timber property, has had a cladding put on the outside of whatever was lying underneath, which was probably, as I say, timber and stucco. The tile veranda is certainly not original to the property as we move in. The floorboards in most areas probably would be, but as we go through and into the entry foyer now, the plaster has been replaced, the ceilings probably all been lowered from the original height with modern cornices. Into the front room as a bedroom, again even ceiling roses not original. Reproduction fireplace. The home certainly presents as very livable. I'll travel down the hallway, which gives us access to each of the potentially 4 bedrooms, and if you're looking at it in the interim time for generation of some income, this is the second room with an air conditioner in it. Again, reproduction fireplace. Each of these first 2 rooms do have robes in them, but if you're looking at it, you could potentially have it rented out as up to 5 bedrooms to maximise the return from that young university student style tenant. This is the 3rd bedroom off that passageway. The 4th, slightly smaller than the first 3, but again substantial enough for a bedroom. This would make your 5th, which is a larger room with a skillion roof to the side, so it's probably been an add-on at some stage. Flooring's obviously all been altered and changed around. Then a central bathroom. I'm guessing that this one's not original. Shower in the corner. From that L-shaped corridor it leads into the kitchen, probably best described as a country style kitchen. Functional, serviceable, spacious enough. And if it was a family and seeking budget accommodation, you could certainly utilise the space. There's 3 steps down to a living area, a second air conditioner here, another artificial or replica fireplace in the corner. So as I step down here, outlook onto the backyard, come around into the service area, which is a laundry and a second toilet up behind that trough and drying machine. We'll walk back through the front of the property before taking you out to outside and have a good look around on the outside. So back through, the hallway was on my left at this point in time. Again, everything in this area is reproduction, save for very ornate fireplace. Substantial subsistence in this particular corner. Into the formal lounge area. So a large property, very habitable, but predominantly nothing retains as an original. We'll come down to the sideway. I'm on the northern side of the property, about to enter through the side gate. The cladding to the outside extends all the way around the property. It's not as if it's just been placed on the facade and the remainder has been kept original. Coming out now into the back garden area. Fence line to the south. That large gum tree. I'll walk down and take a closer look just so you can see that it's goes through that particular fence line. So it is there, partially on the adjoining property, looking back to the rear of our property now. So you can see it's got the terracotta tile roof and perhaps the original chimney to the front. The rear's been an extension at some stage, and the house is offset from the southern boundary by about 1.2, 1.4 metres for a sideway there. And I think that should give you an adequate overview of 8 Lysterville Avenue in Malvern. Should you require further, please don't hesitate to give us a call or send in an email. Thank you.